Shemai, it's absolutely baking hot today and we've come out to have a little look at bindweed. Now there's two very similar types that we're going to look at. There's actually three types of bindweed mainly. There's large bindweed, which is Calystegia sylvatica. There's hedge bindweed, which is Calystegia sepium, and then there's field bindweed, which is different. So we're going to look at the large bindweed and the hedge bindweed, and it's these here. You will recognise it for sure because it's an obvious with this trumpet white flower here. In Latin, we've said it's Calystegia sylvatica for large bindweed, or Calystegia sepium for hedge bindweed, and in Welsh, which is very literal, is taglis, which basically means choking weed because of its tendency to trail and climb and ramble over everything else around it. Now it's a perennial, so it comes back every year, and you'll see it in hedges like here and woodlands and ditches, and in fact I've seen some today clambering up wire and over fences and things, and it can actually smother whole hedges. There's a neighbour not so far along here whose road hedge is absolutely covered in it. There is more bindweed than there is hedge that you can see actually, and it spreads incredibly quickly. The stems of a single plant, so the stems here can grow up to 3 meters and sometimes more in a single season. So this is for sure the best time of year to see bindweed because of these beautiful bell-shaped flowers. They're white and solitary, so you can see they grow alone. These three are together, but actually they're coming off separate parts of the plant. And they have two broad sepal-like bracts at the base, and the corolla is this large funnel shape you can see here, and absolutely fascinating there. There's a flower crab spider on the edge of there. I'm not sure if you can just see it up on the top edge there. Can you see it by my... Oh, he's just hopped. Oh, he's just jumped into my hand. There he goes. And the leaves, I think, very recognisable. These kind of, heart-shaped really, but pointed, and they do vary. Some of them are more rounded, but they always have this kind of heart-shaped or arrow-shaped, and they're pointed and on a stalk always. Bindweed flowers are a great source of pollen and nectar for bees and insects, and a food for moths, and we saw that little spider that was in there, and actually since I've been here bees have been visiting the flower there. But the flowers don't always produce seeds. When they do though, the seeds can last in the soil for a very long time. Now, with them not producing seeds, they still need to be able to actually reproduce and keep going. And what happens is that these will grow from the tiniest fragment there, and that's why they're seen as a bit of a nuisance, because if we broke a little bit off of this bindweed and it was left on the ground, and it would start to take root, and off it would go, and a new plant would come from that tiny little fragment. Those roots, and this is why it's so difficult to, for people who want to get rid of it, it's so difficult to get rid of, because those roots can actually penetrate up to 5 meters deep into the soil. So you can see why it'll keep coming back every year. Now in the old days, and I guess not so much anymore, but children would play with these, and they would pick the flowers and they would squeeze the green base by there, and when it was squeezed, the flower trumpet pops out, and it was said that it looked, I guess, a bit like a granny's bonnet there. It was an old hat that the grannies used to wear to bed, and when they would pop it, squeeze it, the white bit, the white flower would pop out, and the children would say, "Granny, pop out of bed," and it was seen as a bit of a toy, a bit of a plaything. So there we go, bindweed. Easy to find, especially this time of year. Sometimes considered to be a bit of a nuisance, but very good for insects and things. So now's your chance to go out and find it while it's in flower, and good luck.